Hello everybody. Today I'm going to present a paper entitled Trends in Mobile Technology Supported Collaborative Learning, a systematic review of journal publication from 2007 to 2016. This is one of one Professor Long paper. The outline, introduction, research questions, research method, research result, discussion, conclusion, and citation for future research. Introduction. In practical education and research activities, collaborative learning has received great emphasis from educators and researchers for more than half a century. In the 1970s, collaborative learning was used extensively in all subjects in both in-class and out-of-class, traditional and non-traditional learning scenarios, and kindergarten and graduate institutes. Slavin 1996 analyzed numerous empirical studies on collaborative learning and found that group targets, individual responsibilities, and group interaction are the essential factors of promoting learning achievement. Another study analyzed 12 articles on the effect of learning achievement. There were no consistent opinions on whether homogeneous or heterogeneous grouping lead to better performance in terms of improving students' grade. Some researchers have focused on comparing the effect of different collaborative learning strategies. So it can be found that collaborative learning is a very complex teaching activity because group targets, interaction modes, grouping numbers, group members, and collaborative learning strategies are all important factors affecting collaborative learning. Therefore, it is necessary to examine the educational functions and values through systems. Learning in an environment with mobile technologies has aroused the interest of educators and researchers. This study defined mobile collaborative learning as a learning approach using mobile device and wireless technology anytime and anywhere to achieve a certain learning target in a group. Previous reviews, Su and Chen identified 9 papers and reviewed 9 papers, found that the main participants in these studies were K-12 students, and their 3 to 5 people were grouped together. The most frequently used mobile devices were personal digital assistant, and the main issues investigated were learning performance, engagement, participation, and interaction. Song 2014 reviewed the methodological issues in the research domain of mobile computer-supported collaborative learning and found that there was an increasing trend of exploring collaborative learning issues in an authentic learning environment, but there was a lack of interest, lack of instruments to examine the process of collaborative learning. However, no review paper has been conducted to investigate the trend of mobile collaborative learning from a global perspective based on a theoretical framework. Research questions. 1. During 2007 to 2016, what is the distribution, amount, and research methodologies of mobile collaborative learning? 2. What are the learning device and learning environments for mobile collaborative learning? Compared to the first period, what is the developing trend in the second period? What are the participants, students, and measurement issues for mobile collaborative learning? Compared to the first period, what is the developing trend in the second period? What is the collaborative group constitution and application status of collaborative strategies? 5. What is the relationship between mobile collaborative learning strategies and measurement issues? What are the features of collaborative learning strategies in the mobile collaborative learning scenarios. Research method, term definitions. Collaborative learning strategies can be defined as learning together, team games tournament, jigsaw, team-assisted individualization, students team achievement division, cooperative, integrated reading and composition, academic, controversy, think, pair, share, peer learning, group discussions. These are the definition for collaborative learning strategies from its features. Again, ubiquitous learning is defined as the learning type that anywhere and anytime learning using mobile and wireless communication technology. 2008. Collaboration means two or more team members engaging in different activities. Process of data searching and collection. Searching articles using following keywords from Web of Science, mobile learning or ubiquitous learning, and collaborative or cooperative or collaboration or cooperative. Using these keywords, identified 112 articles based inclusion criteria. They included 90 articles for further analysis. Distribution status of mobile collaborative learning. This feature from 2007 to 2016. So you can see the number of publications is increasing from 2007 to 2016. Coding scheme and process. They identified 7 coding schemes. The first one is codes for learning device and learning environment, codes for research participant and subject, codes for measurement issue, codes for collaborative group constitution. Again, under this code, they have some subcodes, period of time for a group, group size, and group members. The fifth coding scheme is code for collaborative learning strategy, and the sixth one is code for research method, and the last one is code for research domains. This is research result 4.1. Current status and trends of research distribution, quantity, and method. This section demonstrates the overall current status and developing trend in the mobile collaborative learning research from 2007 to 2016, including the research domain distribution, quantity, and research method. So the figure 3 indicates research domain distribution of mobile collaborative learning. So software development, instruction and learning, survey activities, and other, these are research domains. So the blue one indicates the first period, that is from 2007 to 2011, and the orange one is from 2012 to 2016, second period, and the gray one is the sum of these two. So software development is almost similar in the first and second period, but in the second instruction and learning domain, in the second period is dominant. When we come to research methods in mobile collaborative learning, in the first quantitative method, the second period is more dominant. That means second period they used more quantitative method. Next to quantitative method, they used mixed method. Current status and trends of learning device and instrument. Figure 5 indicates the mobile device used in mobile collaborative learning. You can see that in the first as well as in the second period, there is no wearable device used in collaborative learning approach, but smartphone is high in the second period. Again, in the second period, tablet computer usage is also high, whereas traditional portable computers or devices are most frequently used in the first period. When we see the figure 6, learning environment of mobile collaborative learning, in the first as well as in the second period, classroom and laboratory environments, the most frequently used learning environment, whereas museum, laboratory, or historical buildings, especially in the second period, becomes a more dominant learning environment together with ecological areas or zoo or garden. Developing trends of research participants, subjects, and measurement issue. When we see the first research participant, we can see that uh, elementary school, junior and senior high school, again, higher education are the most frequently used research participants in the second period, but teachers and working adults are not very considered research participants. When we see subjects, distribution and growth rate of learning subject in mobile collaborative learning indicated that social science and social studies, language, non-specified subject, and science, these are the most frequently used subjects in these studies. When we see the measurement issues, learning performance, correlation or causal and effect analysis, learning behavior or engagement, these are the most uh, learning outcomes addressed in the second uh, period, whereas technology acceptance model of, or intention of use, opinion of learning or learning perceptions, satisfaction or interest, learning performance, especially skill part, are less uh, less uh, researched areas in the second period, even though they are important part. Current status of collaborative learning group, constitution and strategy application. Uh, in most studies, uh, the researchers didn't specify how to select learners to constitute a learning group. About 27 studies. 8 studies adopted random grouping, 10 studies heterogeneous, 1 study homogeneous, and 7 studies adopted other grouping strategies like portfolio-based grouping. So it can be found that random grouping will occupy a great portion of the research, but when researchers or teachers wanted to group students based on certain traits, heterogeneous grouping was frequently used. Group size: 17 studies did not report the group size, 14 students used small group, 7 studies medium, again 7 studies large, and 8 studies used mixed group size. Regarding group duration, most studies adopted formal group, some studies adopted informal group, and few studies adopted base group. So what's formal group? It is a kind of group which lasted for one session to 2 weeks, whereas informal group is a temporary and short-term group. Base group is a long-term collaborative learning activity which can last for 1 semester or more than 1 semester. Collaborative learning strategies adopted in target literature. So structural cooperative learning strategies and conceptual cooperative learning strategies are used, but conceptual cooperative learning strategy is the dominant one, especially learning together and group investigation is the most frequently used cooperative learning strategies. Relation between collaborative learning strategy and measurement issue. Table 4, cooperative learning strategies adopted in developing learners' cognition. So in order to develop learners' cognition, the researchers used conceptual cooperative learning, especially learning together, peer learning, group investigation, academic controversy, group discussions, whereas structural cooperative learning used jigsaw, think, pair, share, and team game tournament. So the dominant one is still conceptual cooperative learning is used to develop learners' cognition. Table 5, cooperative learning strategy adopted for developing learners' skill. So conceptual cooperative learning is also used to develop learners' skill, especially group investigation, learning together, and peer learning are the most frequently used cooperative learning strategy to develop learners' skill. When we come to higher order skill, again, the dominant one is conceptual cooperative learning. Cooperative learning strategy used for conceptual cooperative learning is learning together, peer learning, academic controversy, group discussion, and group investigation. Only jigsaw method is used as a structure cooperative learning to improve students' high order skill. Table 7, cooperative learning strategy adopted to develop learners' collaboration and communication. So in order to develop learners' collaboration and communication, again, conceptual cooperative learning approach is dominant, using learning together, cooperative, group investigation, group discussion, peer learning. So these are the collaborative learning strategies used to develop learners' collaboration and communication. Discussion, research distribution, quantity, and methods. As Wang pointed out, the value and potential of integrating mobile device and collaborative learning in the past decades, especially in the recent 5 years, the educational value of collaborative learning in mobile learning environment have received increasing emphasis. Survey research began to be popular in the past 5 years, but Beamer et al. 2016 believed that to deeply understand the emerging phenomena of mobile learning, it is necessary to consider not only the quantitative method, but also the qualitative method and mixed method. Learning device and environments. Mobile devices, smartphones, and tablet computers are the device with new technology which were used widely in the second half of 10 years, and mobile collaborative learning activities conducted outside of the classroom went greatly beyond that conducted inside the classroom. So the development of learning device is closely linked to the development of learning environment. So studies by Cloper, Skin, and Jenkins 2002 portrayed the unique education affordance of PDA mobile device, meaning that portability, social interactivity, context sensitivity, connectivity, and individuality can be better supported and presented on new devices. Besides, it also boosted the shift in mobile collaborative learning activity from conventional classroom to real living scenarios. Research participant subjects and measurement issues. From research participant aspect, little research was conducted on teachers and working adults. Researchers have pointed out that cultivating and elevating teachers' educational practice of technology is equally important to developing their professionalism. In terms of research subject aspect, there is little research on uh, arts or design, business and management, health, medical or nursing and mathematics, but mobile collaborative learning in these subjects would still be of great educational value. In terms of distribution and development of research issue, little attention was paid to the issue of higher order skill learning performance, skill part, self-efficacy, confidence or anticipation, performance, cognitive load, learning anxiety. This because might be that the cultivation of skill and higher order skill need a longer time and measuring ability needs proper tools and approach. Group composition and strategy application. In terms of group member selection, most research used heterogeneous grouping method, but no research grouped students based on cognitive styles or learning styles. It was found that most research adopted different group member selection techniques, but the difference was not examined. In the arrangement of group size, some researchers believe that 4 people in a group is the most ideal group because it allows pair work and hence encourage active participation. However, it was found that researchers in the mobile collaborative learning domain usually adopted 2 to 3 people in a group. From the group duration period, most research adopted formal group, with research adopted an informal group design and base group design. Collaborative learning strategy. Conceptual cooperative learning strategy constituted the majority of mobile collaborative learning activity. This is because the mobile collaborative learning activity mostly conducted outside of the classroom. Learning tasks were unstructured, teaching methods were most student-centered, and mobile learning devices were beneficial to improving social interaction among peers. Conceptual learning strategy for measurement issues. Most researchers adopted conceptual cooperative learning strategy rather than structured cooperative learning strategies. This is because in conceptual cooperative learning strategies, students in group would try to achieve mutual learning goals and shoulder corresponding responsibility. So based on this study, the researcher tried to form conceptual framework of mobile collaborative learning based on social constructivism. Learners can work in group using mobile technology in using appropriate collaborative learning strategy in conducive learning environment so that they can construct knowledge. So this conceptual framework of mobile collaborative learning can be used for further study who is interested in mobile learning. Conclusion. The educational affordance of mobile collaborative learning are demonstrated in this study, such as supporting ubiquitous learning, guiding by diverse cooperative strategies, more interpersonal social interaction, facilitating context-based learning, cultivating self-regulated learning and self-reflection, and fostering cross-cultural interaction. In sum, mobile collaborative learning is a potential learning mode to facilitate knowledge acquisition, metacognition, skills, and epistemological beliefs via engaging students in learning collaboratively. It is worth investigating the impact of mobile collaborative learning in different contexts and from various perspectives with emerging technologies. It is also important to reinforce the research on the process of learners' knowledge construction as well as their perceptions and behaviors in collaborative learning process. Suggestions for further studies, further research. One, it is important to investigate the impact of those innovative technologies such as wearable devices on students' learning performance and behavior from different aspects. Two, in addition to considering the need of students, it is also important to investigate how collaborative mobile learning approach can benefit teachers and working adults. Three, little research was conducted related to arts or design, business, business and management, health, medical, or nursing and mathematics. It is suggested that mobile collaborative learning approach to these subjects explored in the future. For it is suggested that future research could take those seldom considered personal factors such as learning style or cognitive styles into account. Investigations of students' long-term mobile collaborative learning performance and behavior is another important research issue to be highlighted since few studies have been conducted using long-term activities. 6. Which, while adopting structured cooperative learning strategy, it is challenging and important to incorporate additional strategies to assist students in establishing mutual group goals and learning responsibilities in